This is right after he fell. He came calling to mommy. Note the time, 7:11. Mommy realized very quickly that he wasn't breathing. I then started CPR and told mommy, my wife, to call 911. Note the time, 7:12. I continued CPR. Mom is on the phone with 911. And I keep asking her her address. She's repeating it over and over. At this point, I'm still continuing CPR. About this time, I did get a response. It's not in the video. When he fully come to is when you will see me come on the phone. I dialed 911 on an additional cell phone. Telling them that my son stopped breathing and I had to administer CPR. Here I come emerging now. I'm on the phone with 911 asking for Polk County dispatch. My understanding is cell phones go to the state police and then rerouted. The lady stated to me that it was Polk County, and yet she still rerouted me to Polk County. I advised them what was going on, that my son was breathless, and I administered CPR, and I needed EMS. We are approximately a tenth of a mile from EMS station and maybe a mile from fire and rescue. So response time should have been minimal. As you can see, it's 7:15. I'm still on 911. My wife is still on 911 on the other line. I will have a detailed map including in this with mileage and travel time to each station. Because of the response time, I'm getting a little irate. As you can see from the clock, it's 7:16. Now you can see in the bottom camera that the wife is still on the line. My son is cognitive at this moment. And I've always got kids up my ass. She's still on the phone. It's a little clearer. 7:16. No EMS. She's trying to get him dressed for what we think is a paramedic ride to the hospital. Now, we don't know if he knocked himself out, if he's choking, or anything. So, at this point, I try to get him and lay him on his side with his leg extended to his chest to help him breathe if there's any blockage. Try to soothe him from crying because he doesn't want to be held down. At this point, 911 operator is saying it's best to keep him calm rather than keep him breathing. As you can see, my wife is still on the phone with EMS. And at this point, I am really pissed off because, as you can see, it is 7:17 and they're still not there. At some point, the operator, asked my wife if she was safe. My only concern was with my child. So here I am getting his clothes ready because EMS isn't there. I'm getting ready to bring him to the hospital if I have to myself. He is breathing. He was crying. Way I figured if he's crying, he's breathing. My wife is trying to soothe him. Regardless of policy, I understand that 911 at this moment realizes that my son come to and is breathing. However, a 911 call was still placed, and it is 7:19 with nothing. No EMS, no fire, no police. "911 did call back when I threw the phone because I was tending to my son. They had all the information that they needed at this point to send EMS. I'm going to speed up the video just a little bit because it's pretty much the same thing until I go outside. Note the time, 7:20. Still no EMS. I'm livid right now. I'm asking where the hell is the paramedics? Where's fire? Where's anybody? On a 911 call, it will reflect of me yelling just that. They should have been here. Something along the lines of that. There was no hostility. There was no threats. However, the 911 operator took it upon herself to think that it was a hostile crime, I guess, and needed police to show up. At this point of the video, at 7:20, I witnessed the fire truck go down the other side of the road. It was approximately here. The call logs should say more. I'm going to make this go a little faster. Trying to calm my nerves, having a cigarette. My son is breathing on his own and is calm. Speed it up a little bit more. This is me waiting for EMS, hollering. In general, where the fuck are they? They're not here yet. This is when the fire truck approximately went down the other side of the road, I believe. I'm not certain. Still no EMS. We did see a fire truck. Sometime during this, Bartow police showed up and asked what was going on, and I guess he cleared the scene for EMS. Excuse me. And here comes the Bartow Police Department finally at 7:26. 7:26, the Bartow Police Department shows up after placing the 911 call. 7:26. And then here shortly after that, the fire truck pulls up and the firefighter rescue worker is asking what's going on, and I proceed to tell him that my son fell on the chair, I guess hit his neck, and stopped breathing, and I proceeded to do CPR. Here it is, 7:27, fire is finally here. He's asking if the baby's okay. He's telling me that he was not able to come into a hot zone basically because of my yelling, because the response time was horrific. Absolutely horrific. He's telling me that I did a good job. He understands he would do the same thing, but it's not his call to when he can enter the scene. So at 7:28, the EMS, whoever this guy is from Fire Rescue, pretty much gives the all clear that he understands what happened, what I did, why I was mad, but it wasn't his call when he could come. He then tells me that if I want to go to the hospital, EMS is 1 minute out. I told him that Bartow Hospital is a short drive away. I've already waited this long for EMS. He is checking my son at this moment, looking for a broke rib cage and his pulse from me doing CPR. Shortly thereafter, we did drive to the ER and had him x-rayed his neck and his chest with no injuries. Again, the time is what got me. And still no ambulance at this point. Still no ambulance at this moment. 7:29. No ambulance. And when the police officer showed up, he said it was 1 minute behind him. Unacceptable, Polk County. Unacceptable.